Welcome back. You're watching an India Today special investigation on the newsroom. Ever wonder why rail journeys in India are so hazardous? Why there are reports coming in so often of some big railway accident or the other? Well, one reason for this is that personnel are not doing the job that they should. An India Today special investigation has found that multiple people who should be working as linesmen or signal operators are actually working in the houses of senior railway officers as home staff, doing jhadu pocha, menial work around the house when they should actually be out on the tracks trying to save lives. Sit back and watch this shocking and scary India Today special investigation.
A runaway on the tracks. 22 carriages rolling back without an engine. Holders placed on the line shuddered it to a halt after 13 kilometers of terrifying journey. It was a narrow escape for its 1,000 passengers. But the incident has brought the inevitable question to the fore: why are our trains so unsafe? Is the lifeline of the nation hurtling headless? When India Today reached out for these answers, our investigation revealed a devastating reality. The last layer of defense is not where it's supposed to be. Yes, the men seen on your screen are the railway safety workers called trackmen. This is what they should have been doing: patrolling, protecting and repairing the tracks. But they are nowhere on the front line. Their crowbars, hammers and tongs are replaced by brooms, buckets, mops and kitchen knives, a scathing evidence. Our investigation has found out how senior railway officials have pulled the trackmen off the field to work as domestic help at the Sarkari bungalows. At the official residence of a railway engineer, Sailesh Kumar, at Bihar's Barauni Junction, safety workers can be seen cleaning up a government house. Manoj Kumar Sa is a trackman. He disclosed what all his bosses has assigned him to do.
ट्रैकमैन ही हो ना? हाँ, हम ट्रैकमैन हैं। तो घर का काम करवाते हैं? कितने पूरे दिन घर पे रहते हैं? हाँ, हम पूरे दिन घर पे ही रहते हैं। हाँ, ड्यूटी भर। पूरा अंदर के काम मतलब रहता है कि तुम यहीं रहो, यहीं करो। क्या क्या काम? वही झाड़ू पोछा, एक आदमी है, एक आदमी खाना बनाना। रेलवे की रात सही गई नहीं।
Working at the home of a railway engineer, but on paper, Sa is marked present on track duty.
जब ड्यूटी वाले दिन है। हाँ। तो वहाँ अटेंडेंस लगा के यहाँ आ गए? नहीं, अटेंडेंस यही बनता है, यही सीट है। अच्छा, सीट वहीं से उठा के यहीं ले आया? हाँ। बढ़िया है आप लोग।
Railway officials throwing safety to the winds, and this appears to be the rule rather than the exception. Pankaj Yadav is also a trackman, but he's seen building garden fences at the official residence of the senior section engineer.
तो ये जो बाउंड्री जो बनवा रहा है वो किसके लिए है? चीफ साहब क्या करेंगे इसमें? कुछ लगाएंगे, क्या करेंगे? क्या लगाएंगे? क्या लगाएंगे? कुछ खाने पीने वाला लगाएंगे।
VIP culture continues to thrive in Indian Railways. Remember just last year, a blue-eyed boy of the Prime Minister himself, Ashwani Lohane, identified human resources as a top priority to work on. In a letter to the staff, he described employee welfare as a key concern.
Our focus has to be HR and HR. There has to be tremendous focus on HR. Our HR has to feel they are looked after, that they can look up to the management, their management, not always the top management. They can look up to the management, they can trust the management. They should have a feeling of being treated fairly always. Similarly, we should be trusting the entire staff below us.
But his missives seem to have fallen on deaf ears of the engineers working on the ground. In the northern zone, India Today found the scene equally awful. Trackman Rajkumar sweeping the house complex of a section engineer.
हाँ झाड़ू लगा दी कबाड़ फेंक दिया उठा के गाड़ी आई सामान वामान लेने में सामान वामान दे दिया और दूध लाना दूध लाना भैया 2-4 बर्तन है भैया वो भी साफ कर दें धूप को बोले भाई
Washing to doing dishes. Rajkumar is ordered to do everything other than keeping the track safe. It's no different at Modi Nagar in western Uttar Pradesh. Trackman Chandrasekhar is seen doing the same menial job at the house of railway engineer Rameshwar Singh.
सुबह झाड़ मतलब डेली लगाते हैं थोड़ा सा लगा के 10 मिनट का बस यही है कितना का इतना करके बस हम पूरा दिन चिकना कर देते हैं बस 2 मिनट का काम तो है ही है.
The ugly phenomenon appears to be compromising safety of the passengers. Trackman Jeevan revealed how railway staff work in shifts at their Sahaj house. Ludhiana's assistant divisional engineer T.S. Sidhu.
क्या करना पड़ता है सब कुछ करना पड़ता है साहब के पास आपको रोटी भी बनानी देनी है उनको भी ये सब कुछ नहीं है तो कोई तो भाई साहब अकेले हैं तो सब कुछ करना पड़ जाता है और नहीं तो कुछ भी नहीं करना पड़ता खाली भी बैठ के चले जाते हैं सारा दिन ऐसी बात नहीं है टाइम पूरे दिन यही बैठे रहते हैं आप लोग नहीं जब 2 घंटे 4 घंटे हम बैठ के 2-4 घंटे ये बैठ के 2-4 घंटे और कोई बैठ गया नाइट के लिए और जैसे टाइम लगे मतलब एक बंदा कोई चाहिए 2-4 मतलब हमें कंपलसरी होना चाहिए यहाँ पे स्टाफ के साथ. हाँ
A vast public enterprise in shambles, a deeply entrenched feudal culture putting innumerable lives on the line every single day. Muhammad Hizbullah for India Today's Special Investigation Team.
You know, this is seriously spooky. Your life could be in danger because the man who should be manning that signal is doing chores in some officer's house. Joining us now is former Railways Minister Dinesh Trivedi, also with us representing the BJP's Narendra. Taneja, when Piyush Goyal came in as Minister in charge of the Railways and when Ashwani Lohane came in as the Railway Board Chairman, a missive was sent out. People should be deployed for the work that they were trained for, they were hired for, they shouldn't be working elsewhere. Means nothing. Means nothing at all, Narendra Taneja, unless all those words are translated into action. Our investigation clearly shows that linesmen, signal operators are not doing the job they should. Instead, they're working with senior officers. What do you have to say about this?
Well, Rahul, we are aware of that, and that's why, when we took over, we started reforming. Let's not forget one thing. You see, railway is has always been actually like a state within the state, with its own hospitals, with its own even budget until very recently, its own telecom system, its own schools, its own boarding schools, its own hospitals and so on and so. It was like a state within a state. Those who lived, like people like me, born and brought up in a railway colony in Uttar Pradesh, for first 17 years we didn't know there was anything beyond railways. We thought railway was like
No, one
India.
second, Narendra, Taneja, this sounds like a very sorry excuse, I'm sorry.
And we saw
Don't
what
say it was a state within a state. You've been in power now for 4.5 years.
You have to allow me.
But what do I have to allow you? You've sent out missives, you put out letters on the ground, nothing has changed. You've been in charge now for 4.5 years.
No. Listen, Rahul, I'm coming to that. All I'm coming to is that here we are trying to reform something which has been like this for 100 years. So that's why it's taking a little time. That's my point, the point I was trying to drive home. It has been like this. And only when ministers like Lalu Yadav came and moved around the country in their air-conditioned saloon, they didn't help. They actually complicated
So one
the things
second,
even
Lalu
further.
Yadav was
Politicized railways.
years
That's what
ago.
they
Come
did.
on,
You know,
come on, Narendra, Taneja. Don't blame Lalu Yadav. This is happening on your watch. Whatever Lalu did was years ago. You were supposed to have fixed that. So don't say when Lalu went around in his air-conditioned salons, what does that even mean?
Rahul, when you change... I'm answering it. When you have to transform the culture, Rahul, even in a small organization like a television channel, it takes time. We have succeeded more than any other government in the history. What we have managed
So
to
you
change
can
in
give a
terms of
certificate for
transforming the
yourself.
culture is
We will
historic,
decide whether you've succeeded or not.
That's what I'm
Our
saying.
investigation will do a dipstick into whether things have changed or not, and our dipstick shows nothing has changed. So don't go about giving yourself certificates which are not validated by our investigation. Dinesh Trivedi, do you buy this excuse at all? A completely sorry excuse coming from Narendra Taneja that this is a state within a state. Lalu Yadav, when he went around in that air-conditioned salon, he's the one who ruined the Indian railways. We fixed the railways more than ever before. Dinesh Trivedi, as former railways minister, your thoughts on my investigation?
I don't know, Rahul, after listening to my good friend Mr. Taneja, what do I say? There's nothing for me to say. If you are an ostrich and if you want to put your head inside the sand and not see the reality and blame the Mughals and the British and Lalu and everybody, it doesn't help. All this trackmen and gangmen are the basic. They are the foundation, the base of the pyramid. And if the pyramid has shaken up, then the least you can see that thank you so much for bringing this to our notice. We should have known, but nevertheless, and this is not acceptable. I would have said that and go on because, you know, you are now there. Head,
you know, Narendra Taneja blaming the Mughals, blaming Lalu Yadav, it's a very sorry excuse.
And I think, you know,
the only real approach is to say, sorry, we gave an instruction, it's not being followed, strict action will be taken. Lalu went around in air-conditioned salon, sounds like the sorriest excuse you could have come up with.
Simple.
No, Rahul, I'm not offering any excuse. What I'm telling you, it is important for any debate to give a little historic background. That's all I was trying to do, so that we can have a meaningful, meaty debate. What I'm saying, we are changing, transforming the culture. That's what
One second, don't say you're transforming. Dinesh Trivedi, you cannot claim to be transforming the culture unless things change on the ground. On the ground, the fact is that this problem still exists. So don't say that the culture has been transformed. Don't give yourself certificates because our investigation doesn't bear that out. Dinesh Trivedi.
No, I agree that there is a big transformation, that the guys who are supposed to manage safety are busy cooking or washing utensils. There is a huge transformation, and this is what safety is going to be compromised. What you say, I mean, there's nothing to say. It's for the people to watch. I mean, is this transformation? And you know, Rahul, I can guarantee you what's going to happen. After this investigation, all those trackmen you have interviewed, they will be in big trouble. Nothing will happen to the engineers. Whenever there is an accident I have seen in the last few years, nothing happens, and accept the reality. Accept the reality, then only you can go forward. and that's about it. Railway
that's
is a
the
huge
worst thing you can do,
organization, and I
Narendra
can tell you
Taneja.
it is next to the
If you
army.
sack
At
these
the moment,
poor
it is like
linesmen
slavery.
and
It's
gangmen
like
and
slavery.
signalmen, that's the worst thing you can do. In fact, it's the officers who are using these staff as their domestic helpers.
First of all,
they are the ones who should be sacked. If Piyush Goyal and Ashwini Lohani are serious about fixing the railways, sack the officers who are doing this. Don't go after the poor linesmen.
I agree with you.
there is no question of, after going the poor lineman or the trackman, or there is absolutely no question. Look, Rahul, we have managed to, Mr. Trivedi was the minister himself, and how frustrated he was. He was frustrated, but we have delivered. That's the difference between Dinesh Trivedi and Piyush Goyal. He just expressed his frustration and left, or was asked to leave. What we have done is, we are not ostrich, Mr. Trivedi, we have delivered. If you give me time, on this scale, trackman also, earlier the picture was different. We have brought it down already to 80%. Check, send your team again. And if you have your team, look into your archive, what used to be 10 years, 4 years ago, 5 years ago, where it is now. We admit we have not succeeded 100%, but we have succeeded in transforming the railway culture by almost 80%. We still have 1 year to go.
Dinesh
And we will
Trivedi, do you buy this?
100%
that things are better than what they were?
2019, Rahul, that's
that resigning in a huff is not the solution? That you have to stay the fight and fight the fight. You can't walk away.
But that's what Mr. Trivedi did.
If I, first of all, let me tell you, Rahul, if Mr. Taneja can allow me, then I speak. Hello?
Go on Dinesh, I hear you.
Can I speak?
Yes, please.
First of all, I enjoyed my tenure, and there is no question of frustration. I think I had a greatest of the innings, and I had the best of the people to work with, and I still tell you the best organization in the world is the Indian Railways. But if you make it a feudal system, which appears to be after watching your investigation report, and you treat these people who are otherwise professional like slaves, I don't think so you're going to get anywhere. Ask the public, don't ask me. Today you go out on the street and ask anybody and see railway is finished. It is bankrupt. They have brought the railways 50 years behind.
So I want to say 2 or 3 things in conclusion. One, that is very clear that Piyush Goyal is trying to fix the railways, but trying is not good enough, because net the BJP has now been in charge for almost 4 years. You'll now be judged on what's happening on the ground. And the best thing, the sternest message Piyush Goyal and Ashwini Lohani can send is to sack the officers who had these qualified, technically sound railway employees working as domestic staffers. This is pathetic. And don't at all act against the poor staffers who are forced to do this. Go instead after the senior officers, so that a message goes out that if you do this, you will be in trouble. Minister Goyal and Railway Board Chairman Lohani, we're watching what you'll do. We're slipping into a break. News continues on the other side. Stay with us.